You like people, just not in your space. And somehow, that sentence just hit differently because you're not someone who avoids the world. You have people you love, people you do anything for. But the moment they say they're coming over, something shifts, something tightens, and you can't always explain it. You just feel it. That's what we're going to talk about today. The doorbell rings and your stomach drops. Not because you don't want to see them, not because you don't care, but something in your body reacts before your mind even catches up. You look around the room. Is it clean enough? Did you vacuum? Where do you even put people? And for a few minutes, your home, the one place that felt completely yours, no longer feels like it belongs to you. This isn't rudeness. This isn't antisocial behavior. This is your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. And before we go any further, you need to hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. Not liking guests in your space doesn't mean you don't like people. It doesn't mean you're broken, avoidant, or secretly selfish. It means your brain has built something sacred around the concept of home and it's protecting it. Let's talk about why. Your home is not just a place where you sleep. To your nervous system, it is a controlled environment. A place where every variable is known. The temperature, the lighting, the order of things, the silence when you want it, the chaos only when you choose it. Psychologists call this territory, and humans, like most mammals, are deeply wired to protect it. When you were a child, you learned what safety felt like. For some, home was warmth and predictability. For others, it was unpredictable, loud, filled with other people's moods. Either way, your brain filed it. This is what a safe space looks like. And over time, you built one that matched that blueprint, even if you didn't realize you were building it. When guests enter, the blueprint shifts. Suddenly, someone else's needs, habits, and energy are inside the walls you built. Someone might sit in your spot, touch something on your shelf, ask for something you don't have, and your brain, without language, registers it as intrusion. Not because they're bad, not because you don't love them, but because something you built for yourself now has someone else's fingerprints on it. That tension you feel, it's territorial, and it's ancient, and it's completely human. There's another layer here that most people never name. When someone is in your home, you lose control of your environment in ways that feel almost invisible. You can't control how long they'll stay. You can't control the conversation. You can't leave if things get heavy, because you're already home. There is no exit. In the outside world, if a social situation becomes too much, you can leave. You can step away. You have agency. But inside your own home, the social situation is inside your refuge. And something in you knows it before the visit even begins. This is why you over-prepare. You clean corners you haven't touched in months. You rearrange furniture in your head. You plan what you'll serve, what music you'll play, how you'll guide the energy of the room. Because if you can't control when they leave, at least you can control everything else. That's not anxiety. That's your brain trying to restore a sense of order before the unpredictable begins. But here's the part nobody tells you. Hosting is not just spending time with someone. Hosting is a performance, and performances are exhausting. When someone is in your space, there is a part of your mind that never stops monitoring. Are they comfortable? Is the silence awkward? Should I offer more water? Am I being interesting enough? Am I too much? Not enough? Do they want to leave? Are they bored? Are they judging the way I've arranged my books? Psychologists call this cognitive load the mental energy spent on processing information and managing perception. In normal social settings, that load is significant. But in your home, it doubles, because now you're performing and managing the environment simultaneously. You're the host, the entertainer, the caretaker, and the conversationalist all at once in the one space where you thought you didn't have to perform at all. Think about that. Your home was the one place you didn't have to be on. And now, for the duration of this visit, you have to be on, completely, without a break. Of course you feel drained before they even arrive. And this is where it gets interesting, because this exhaustion is not character. It's not weakness, it's wiring. For some people, social energy replenishes during connection. For others, it depletes, not because they like people less, but because their nervous system processes stimulation differently. When your home is occupied, the sensory input changes. The sounds, the presence, the subtle emotional attunement you're doing without realizing it, tracking moods, reading expressions, adjusting your own energy in response to theirs. All of that runs quietly in the background of every social interaction. And in your home where you expected rest, it runs anyway. So your social battery drops faster. Not because something is wrong with how you connect, but because you came home to recharge and instead, you're still running. You feel bad for not wanting them there, and worse when they are. That guilt is real. You genuinely love the people in your life, and some part of you wants to want them over. You imagine it going, well, laughter, ease, good food, a night you'll look back on fondly. But then the day comes, and from the moment you hear the car pull up, there's a low-level hum of stress that doesn't lift until the door closes behind them. And then you feel the relief. And then you feel guilty about the relief. This is the loop, and it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone whose inner world and outer world sometimes want different things at the same time. What's worth noticing is how this changes over time. When you were younger, maybe you hosted more easily. Maybe the social energy came more naturally, or the need for solitude hadn't become so clear yet. But as people age, they often become more defined in what restores them. The boundary between the self and the world becomes less flexible, not because they've become cold, but because they've become more honest, more self-aware, more certain about what they need to function. The discomfort you feel isn't a regression, it's clarity. You've learned what your nervous system actually needs, even if the world around you expects something different. Some people discover this in their 30s. Some in their 50s, some only after a season of saying yes too many times and realizing the cost of every visit they hosted while quietly falling apart inside. Here is the deepest truth of all of this. Your home is your nervous system made physical. It is the one space where you have permission to exist without adjustment, where the lights can be exactly as dim as you need them, where the silence is not uncomfortable, where you don't have to translate yourself for anyone. It is not just four walls. It is an extension of your internal world, and that world is tender and private and worth protecting. When guests enter, they enter that world, and your instinct to feel guarded isn't about them. It's about the sacredness of what you've built. It's about the rare, irreplaceable experience of being completely yourself in a space that asks nothing of you. Wanting to protect that isn't antisocial. It's self-preservation. It's knowing yourself. It's understanding, with rare clarity, what actually makes you whole. You are not someone who doesn't care about people. You are someone who has a specific and deeply personal relationship with the concept of home, with safety, with the parts of yourself that only come out when no one is watching. You are not difficult. You are not rude. You are not broken. You are someone who understands, maybe better than most, that where you rest matters, that how you rest matters, that the difference between recovering and performing is not always visible to others, but you feel it completely. You like people. You do. You just know that your space is where you become yourself again. And some things, some rooms, some silences, some quiet Saturday mornings belong only to you. That's not a flaw. That's a kind of self-knowledge most people spend their whole lives searching for.